All right. We're live on YouTube. How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Revan here, and you're watching the Anonymous Liberty Media on YouTube and hearing it on Anchor, the 2016 App of the Year. And before we...
She sent a birthday card, but it's going to be late for you.
Okay.
Keep an eye on Peanut.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening and watching the Anonymous Liberty Media on YouTube and Anchor. Now, before we start this video, I'd like to announce that if you want to start your own podcast without a studio, okay, here's an app called Anchor. And now I've been using Anchor for since March of this year. Now, the Anonymous Liberty Media is on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Radio Republic, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and Bullhorn. And if you want to make some money, you can make some money doing the podcast, and it is worth it. If you want to make some little mad money, just a little money for your forever, you can do this. You could get the Anchor podcast app. You could download it onto your iOS device or your Android device, and it is the 2016 App of the Year. Now, so far, I've been doing this since March of this year, and this is episode 65 on the Anonymous Liberty Media podcast. Now, this is some good news, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now since we got the Anchor promotional thing advertised out of the way, now there's been some good talk and some really important news here to share with you guys. Now, there's been really secretive talks about, but this, from where I'm getting this from, it looks and sounds pretty good. Now, not too long ago, during the George H.W. Bush funeral, the elites got a very mysterious envelope, okay? A very, very mysterious envelope. Hillary and Bill got one. Barack and Michelle Obama got one. Dirty Joe Biden got one. And so did Mike Pence. Now, there's a scene where Hillary opened up her program thing, and out of nowhere, this envelope fell in her lap. Okay, it fell in her lap, and then she picked it up. They know what it was, but Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States, opened his up. Nothing, because Jimmy Carter was never a part of the elite. He was like Reagan. Now, there were talks from different platforms secretly that special forces, the United States Special Forces took members of the elite to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And we all know what Gitmo is. Period. We all know that. But from what I'm hearing and getting is that this big plane that they're in were escorted. Okay. But I've been looking and trying to digging in some more information on who's on that plane serving some time in Gitmo. Which member of the elites is going to be wearing that shackle and chains in a white jumpsuit? I hope it's the ones that got the white envelope. I really do. I really, really do. And I would drink to that. But I ain't drinking. I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Now, I'm just now. People are wondering, where did the envelopes come from? Now, we all know that President Donald Trump is a very tactical chess player, while others play checkers. Now, chess is the game where you use strategy and tactic. Okay, it's like reading the book "The Art of War" by Sing Chung, or the book "Art of War." Many generals of the military have used the knowledge from this book. And if the author was alive today, those tactics would be useful, brilliantly, and very, very technically. Now, is President Trump technically planning the imprisonment of the elite? Is he playing chess while everybody's playing checkers? That is a very good question, because when I got this news, all I saw was two pilots, pilot and co-pilot, flying in this big old jumbo plane, headed to Cuba. And QAnon is leaving breadcrumbs. See, people have speculations on who is QAnon. Some say he's a military intelligence, and they know who he is. We do not know who he or she is. Okay, we don't. But the fact is, this is some good news. Some very good news. This is a tactic that someone would use to play chess, but there's pieces and pieces being moved around, tactically, brilliantly done. Now, I would like to say that this is a very historical moment here, okay? For decades, and I mean for decades, the elite has really twisted the knife into the back of the American people. Now, I'm saying here about damn time, because we have been getting the knife twisted in our backs for very too long. Now, before we end this video, please leave a comment below, subscribe, like, and please share this video. And don't not forget. Oh crap! I'm excited here. I'm very excited. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and don't forget to hit the bell for notification. And I would pretty much wonder, what is this good news? Now, I'm wondering, what kind of planes are being escorted? I mean, just the idea of hearing this, and actually, like, dude, you gotta wonder, which elite members are on that plane. I just hope it's Bill and Hillary. I hope it's Dirty Joe Biden, and I hope it's somebody that got the white envelope. Because if you look at Jeb Bush and the wife of George W. Bush, Some they look very scared. They look very scared. I tell you what, I laughed my ass off when everybody got the envelope. They were fucking shocked. Okay, everybody was fucking shocked because, I mean, if you really understand, this is about retribution. Retribution. Now, I wanted to. Now, I want to. There's some news here. Now, now there's been. Oh, I mean, recently there's been some lights in the sky above, like Russia or here in the United States or someplace. There's a question of an alien invasion. Russian hackers, New York City skylines flickered in surreal neon blue. And watch up close, transform blade turns to New York skyline blue. Now, now the media just recently got really pissed off. Okay, I mean, we all know what. Okay, we all know the president went to Iraq and Germany to visit the troops, and the president signed hats. Okay, that says make America great again. And the troops would just, one soldier said, I re-enlisted because of you, Mr. President. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing because there's a big change. Okay, now we all heard the term the storm is coming. Okay, the storm is coming. Okay, now it says here, media bashes Trump for doxing Navy SEALs and troops for MAGA hats, which is fake news. Because how can the president doxing Navy SEALs and troops for MAGA hats? See, this is what the media wants you to think. Okay, the president is visiting the troops in Iraq and Germany on Christmas, signing hats, just having a good time supporting the troops, the men and women of our military. And it's an honor as a soldier to see the president visiting you and your fellow troops in Iraq and Germany. It's an honor. And they're bashing the president for signing hats. But Obama did it, and nobody said anything. Trump did it. President Trump did it, and they're bitching and whining about it. So why? My question is, why is it that 90 to 93.2% of the media is bashing the president? They're bashing the president 90 to 93.2% of the time. Is this? I mean, you don't hear that from any other presidency. Not one president got this much bashing in history. If you look at each president throughout history, nobody got this much bashing from the media but President Trump. Because they cannot stand a guy who cannot be controlled. Okay, this is the first time that the American people, without the interference of the big banks, the big corporations, and everybody else, that voted in democratically, a democracy. If the people voted, that's democracy. If the elite did their shit, that's how you say tyranny. And the American people voted. They voted. Okay. Now, now I got a story here. I want to oh, now this is a story that really really okay. Democratic operative who bragged about Russian bot false flag issues contradiction filled denial. And I see it's the Twitter bird. Twitter bird. The Democratic operative who boasted about orchestrating false flag operation that used fake Russian bots to swing a U.S. Senate race has issued a formal denial in which he backpedaled on his own publicity available statement. Jonathan Morgan, CEO and co-founder of Democratic-leaning private intelligence firm New Knowledge, was reportedly part of the secretive campaign to discredit Republican candidate Roy Moore during the Alabama election, according to an internal report obtained by the New York Times. Morgan and his accomplices boasted about how they had orchestrated an elaborate false flag operation to plant the idea that Moore campaign was amplified on social media by a Russian botnet. Moore ended up losing the race by a hair to his Democratic opponent, Doug Jones, who became the first Democrat in 25 years to serve Alabama in the Senate. Morgan adamantly denied these accusations in a statement posted on New Knowledge's blog, insisting that his company used the election to conduct research and did not engage or operated a botnet. In fact, according to Morgan, New Knowledge believed that from the beginning that the Russian bots purportedly, along with Moore, were fake. The hundreds of Cyrillic sporting accounts that followed Moore on Twitter send us to be the work of internet trolls, not Russian activity. Morgan wrote he acknowledged that the media presented the bots as a genuine Russian influence campaign, but asserted that to this day we have no idea these followers came from or what the purpose was. Morgan, it appears, felt differently during the actual election, citing his much admired Russian bot dashboard. Hamilton 68 Morgan tweeted in November of last year of 2017 that Moore was conventionally popular among Russian trolls. In other words, in November of 2017, when Morgan and his Democratic opponent were in a bitter fight to win over voters, Morgan openly promoted the theory that Russian bots were supporting Moore's campaign. A year later, after being caught red-handed and orchestrated a self-described false flag operation, Morgan now says his team never thought that the bots were Russian and have no idea what their purpose was. Do you think no one would notice? I think that Jonathan Morgan has something to do with the bots, in my opinion. This is just one of several painfully apparent inconsistencies with Morgan's research story. He insists that his company activities were limited to the creation of a benign Facebook page aimed to Alabama conservatives, which was used to gauge how political audience responds to mainstream moderate journalism. Okay, also on RT, irony alert, firm that warned Americans of Russian bots was running an army of fake Russian bots. Imagine that shit. None of these add up. According to the New York Times, which broke the story, Morgan acknowledging his role in the secret Alabama operation on Facebook and Twitter. Why is he now denying any role? And why is there no mention of Twitter activities on his statement? Morgan's abstinent denial insists that he was only involved in set up a harmless Facebook page. Morgan ends his statement by declaring that new knowledge is in an integrity business. That is why, as Times reported, the company intended to help Mr. Jones and hurt Mr. Moore, and that is, operators believe it succeeded in doing so. Now, here's some tweets of Mr. Morgan. He wrote, Russian trolls tracked by Hamilton, #Hamilton68, are taking an interest in a Alabama state senate. What surprise? That's his tweet. Now here's from Dan Cohen. The disinformation warrior Jonathan Morgan attempted to control damage by lying. He now claims the false operation never took place and the botnets were promoted as Russian links based on phony Hamilton 68 Russian troll tracker he developed wasn't Russian. Then Jonathan Morgan tweeted, "We are looking into Umpire 43 at New Knowledge AI. He is the fake SEAL who took Mr. Moore's accuser. Daily Beast and reporting account operator stole a dead SEAL's identity." Some more fun facts by Peter W. Singer. Troll smeared Roy Moore accuser, echoed out by conservative media as fabulous who stole a dead SEAL's identity. TheDailyBeast.com/troll smearing. Now that I gotta be honest here. We all watched the election. And I mean, we all know about the election that happened in 2016 and then 2018. There's a lot of people that got screwed, but there was multiple victories for the conservatives and shit. So, but the biggest story here on the anonymous liberal media is a something that the mainstream media will never acknowledge or accept, that there is some good information that I've been looking into that members of the elite may have gone to Gitmo. Now, again, during the funeral for George Humphrey Walker Bush, many elite members got a mysterious Watt envelope. Now, were these indictments, secret indictments, or were these envelopes with a very scary message to the elite members? Because Bill and Hillary got one, Brooke and Michelle got one, Dirty Joe Biden got one, the Bush family got one, so did Mike Pence. Now, there's footage on YouTube, right now, as we speak, there are secret footages uploaded to YouTube, okay, secretly. And there was a discussion between a podcast, on a podcast, there's a discussion between a guy that runs a podcast on YouTube and an individual that didn't give his name, or he's doing it to basically protect himself. That there was this big old jet plane that's being escorted by smaller jet planes and headed to Gitmo to send the elite to Gitmo. Now, was this a strategic, tactical, a brilliant plot plan? Sounds like it. Looks like it. But I hope this is true, because the American people are very, very tired of this bullshit. Okay. Entirely bullshit that we don't need. Okay. A lot of you are tired of it. Very tired of it. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you for being angry. I don't blame you for being pissed off. Hey, look, I know how you feel. I feel the same way. I'm also pissed off and angry. And I also want justice for the American people. I do believe that we will get justice. Because if you look at every other presidency throughout history of our great country, no president has gotten this much bashing by the media but Donald Trump, President Trump. If you're pissed off and angry, please post it in the comments section. I want to hear it from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. To discuss with you guys. Ladies and gents. Please post it in the comment section. I want to hear it from you guys. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment below. Please hit the bell for notification, and please share this video. And also, we are, and if you're listening to the Anonymous Living Media podcast, we are on the Anchor. We are on Anchor, and we are on Anchor, and if you want a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you can do. If you want if you want us to start a podcast, okay, start a podcast. Here's something that is really, really awesome. You go to your app store. Okay. Go to your app store on your Android or your Android device, iOS or Android device. Download the Anchor app. Download the Anchor app. And or you can go online, type up anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.fm. And you can become a podcaster in seconds, in minutes. And if you want to start, if you want to make some money, you can. They're podcasting. Now, it is really amazing how, I mean, you don't need a studio. You don't. You just need your device. Yeah. Your Apple device, ladies and gentlemen. Your iOS and Android device. I'm sorry, guys. But you can make some money doing your own podcast. Now, before I even started, I did not know. Okay, I've been doing this since March of this year. This is episode 65. Okay, episode 65. And this is an absolute amazing app. It is the app of the year of 2016. So it's been around for at least a year or so. I mean, maybe a couple of years, but it's still a good app. And I do recommend that try it out, check it out for yourself. I mean, you can be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Radio Republic, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and Bullhorn. Now, Bullhorn is a different app. Now, Bullhorn. Now, this is Bullhorn. That's Bullhorn, and you can start your own podcast. You don't need a multi-million-dollar studio. You just need your tablet, your smartphone, computer. Hey, it is an awesome thing. Best thing in the world. Now, here's a story here. Now, now I gotta say this here. The Ultimate Full NASA probe reached tiny world at edge of solar system on New Year's Day. Now, this will happen hopefully. All right, here we go. From FIFA 8 2018 fever to hashtag free sauce, the biggest hashtags of 2018. Twitter's users post 125 million. Okay, again, 125 million hashtags during 2018, which got users the most excited, enraged, and passionate. The year's intense roller coaster of news. RT looks back at the most tweeted stories. Number 1. The World Cup dominated social media over the summer. The people shared their excitement and experience from inside Russia's stadium and fan zone, as well as their match reaction and opinions from the coach. 3.5 billion people watched the 2018 World Cup, finally alone seen by 1.1 billion people. Now viewing record set. Find out how Russia 2018 was followed around the world. From Russia Today, RT.com. Congratulations, Russia, for the way that you organized the World Cup. The Croatian president. The World Cup was Twitter's number one sport turn of the year, and the final between France and Croatia, gaining the most tweets, and Kylian Mbappe's goal for France inspired the most tweets per minute. Okay. Hashtag Great March of Return. Palestinians' week protest at the Gaza border fence trending on social media for the very first Friday. Demonstrations at the end of March when participants were met with increased violence as Palestinians' death toll continued to rise. So too many global interest in the story. So March, over 200 Palestinians have died from Israeli Defense Forces fire at protest. That includes paramedics, journalists, and children. The protest began in the way of call of action, attention to the rights of Palestinians to return to the land they lost during the formation of Israel as a state, and coincided with the controversial opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem 9 months on from the first March. Palestinians to continue to protest their reality, although interest in their plight on social media. Has lessened. Hashtag free Assange and hashtag connect Julian. When Julian Assange's internet was unexpectedly cut off in the Ecuadorian embassy in London last March, his supporters rallied to draw attention to WikiLeaks founder's isolation and the threats of him being expelled from the diplomatic site where he's been living since seeking asylum in 2012. The tweet, WikiLeaks editor Julian Assange has been gagged and isolated by the order of Ecuadorian President Lenin Moreno. He cannot tweet, speak to the press, receive visitors, or make telephone calls. Ecuador demands that he remove the following tweet. Assange's defense. In 1940, the elected president of Catalonia, Luis Companys, was captured by the Gestapo at the request of Spain, delivered to them, and executed. Today, Germany's police have arrested an elected president of Catalonia, Carlos Puigdemont, at the request of Spain to be extradited. Massive online vigils were held to saw supporters around the world highlights of Assange's situation and the threat of press freedom caused by his isolation. The internet access has been partially restored in mid-October, but Assange's supporters and colleagues remain concerned about his health and living conditions. Hashtag never again. Mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman. The mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, in February sparked an outpouring of grief, anger, and activism across social media, particularly Twitter. Somberstat 2018 said alarming new record for gun violence at U.S. schools. One of many school shootings in the U.S. this year, Parkland tragedy sparked a wave of back-and-forth tweets between gun rights supporters and people pushing for restrict access to weapons. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting that killed 17 people, hashtag Parkland, hashtag Stoneman Douglas, and other trending. Declan Corin, the debate after hashtag Parkland reminds us that we the people can rise above imminent hate. We converse with those who disagree with us. We claim to live by amendments, but understand that restrictions can and should be made. But best of all, we create a new hope for success, sustaining generations. Another tweet by Senator Marco Rubio. The debate, as a Parkland reminds us, we the people don't really like each other very much. We smear those who refuse to agree with us. We claim a Judeo-Christian heritage, but celebrate ignorance and boasting. At worst of all, we have affected by the next generation of same disease. As school survivors, students quickly rallied and in action. Social media was awash with hashtags Never Again, Gun Control Now, and March for Our Lives. Also gathered steam as activists held demonstrations and gun violence, which most of the students didn't really call Colonel Mustard to get a clue. Kavanaugh hearing. The Me Too movement was born in 2017, but the hashtag continued to be used across Twitter throughout the year. But when Brett Kavanaugh was being considered for the seat of the Supreme Court in July, the anger of sexual assault victims and those who felt the impact by Me Too reached the crescendo. Alyssa Milano, a Hollywood cunt, who's married to someone who works at the CAA. I'm in D.C. because I don't believe any man's misogyny should take precedent over the survivors of humanity. We tried to see Murkowski, Collins, and Hayden Smith today and share stories of survival. They refuse to see us. Hashtag Kavanaugh, hashtag Believe Women, hashtag Survivor Strong, pic.twitter.com/r whatever, check it out. Kill Kavanaugh tops list of Twitter's hashtag and autofill suggestions. Brett Kavanaugh was accused of sexually assaulting Christine Blasey before decades ago when the pair were still in high school. Charge denied. Kevin was angry and tear-laden attendance at the hearing, paid with forced composure during the question, served for many as fresh metaphor for the hashtag #MeToo movement and sparked intense reaction on social media and from both sides of the political aisle. I gotta be honest here. I mean, it's just that a lot of issues that are really, I mean, journalists came down, yellow vests chant fake news outside French TV station. Let's see that. Let's see here. This is the French people with yellow vests. That's been trending all over the world. It should be on. Let's see here. Where's it at? Where is it at? This is from today. Come on. The yellow vest movement has been really trending. Really trending. Let me see here. I'll go to. But this is a very interesting day. I mean, the yellow vest movement has really gotten traction. I mean, really gotten traction over the bullshit. Even people saying in France are saying fake news. It's about time that this fake news bullshit needs to end. If the president says to Jim Costa, "You're fake news," the people in yellow vests are saying fake news, because most of it all is fake news. Operation Mockingbird is dying. Operation Mockingbird is dying. And the elite knows it. The CIA knows it. It's dying because the president. They're scared because of this movement. America is becoming first for the American people, not the banks, not the corporations, not these civilian companies that are part of the intelligence. See, Booz Allen Hamilton is also a intelligence company. Okay? Now, if y'all know, besides Booz Allen Hamilton, there's let's see here. Now this story here. Okay, this was today. The CEO and co-founder of a Democratic-leaning private intelligence firm, you know that? Democratic-leaning private intelligence firm, New Knowledge. Okay, this is a intelligence firm. See, they align with the intelligence community. Okay, so does Booz Allen Hamilton. A lot of these companies are becoming. They're thinking, well, I'm going to build me and create me a company that deals with intelligence. I'm going to create me a company that deals with intelligence, but also works with the intelligence agencies like the FBI, CIA, NSA, so on and so forth. So why are these fucking idiots creating these companies to be part of the IT club of intelligence? You know, I came across a video that's about 2, 3 years old, and it really bugged me because I still think about it till this day. Okay, well, we only got about 4 minutes left, so I came across this video of uh, these people that were videotaping, okay, videotaping a police incident, and this lady was videotaping an incident from a pretty good distance, okay, from a pretty good distance. And the Constitution, the First Amendment of the Constitution, protects us. Okay, your your religious freedom, your freedom of speech, freedom of the press, peacefully assemble, and also to redress our government with grievance. Now, it could be a citizen journalist, and it could be part of the media, part of the press. But what bothered me was this lady, she was videotaping, and an officer came up and asked, and it went in her phone. Why? Why? So, so she said, no, you can get a warrant. If you want, I could give you a video, a copy. No, took her phone. So she was arrested. Then another scene was this other individual was doing the same thing. He was a cop watch. So a lot of the officers that are being filmed, they think, okay, well, I'm gonna say, look, filming me is illegal. Because according to 10 years ago, it's legal in all 50 states. In all of 50 states. So an officer cannot interfere with you filming them because they work for you. They should know better. But within the thin blue line, it don't matter. The Constitution don't matter to them. It's all about power and prestige and what they can get away with. Period. The thing that just because they wear a badge to think they're above the law and they can get away with anything. Well, there's a line in the sand that's been there for centuries. There's been a big red line in the sand for centuries. And it seems that law enforcement continues to cross that line. And now there's the guy that was filming. He was going to the bar to see some friends. And one officer says, "No, officer, I want that camera. That's evidence." No, it's not. The guy just arrived and started filming. And the guy walked away. The guy told the cops, "Fuck you, ain't gonna happen." No. And the one thing that does piss off a law enforcement officer is that somebody that knows their rights. Okay. When somebody knows their rights, a law enforcement officer would do the walk of shame. The best thing ever is the walk of shame. Because if you know your rights, they can't do shit. They could try, but most of all, why is it that you gotta show your ID when you're just walking the street, minding your own business, not doing anything, keeping to yourself? You're on the sidewalk. You cannot show your ID unless a crime was committed. If you committed a crime, okay, look here. Here's my ID, and here's my finger. So, It's insane. Very insane. Period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the end of the video and the podcast of the Anonymous Liberty Media. And if we look at the footage of the, I will send a link. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, I will send a link. Mine's Gab, Maybe, Holness, Parlor, Snapchat, or Instagram. I will share the footage of the videos I mentioned. Okay, no problem there. I will send you guys a link. I will share it. Some of the platforms is under the Anonymous Liberty Media name. Also, check out the podcast of the Anonymous Liberty Media on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcast, Castbox, Radio Republic, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and Bullhorn. Okay, I will be doing a podcast on Bullhorn later today, so that'll be all good. And again, I am Grandmaster Revan here. I am the founder of the Anonymous Liberty Media here on YouTube, as well as the other platforms that I mentioned and the podcast. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and don't forget to hit the bell for notification. And also, if you want to start your own podcast, download the app on your iOS or download the app on your iOS or Android device. It is absolutely fun, and it's worth it. It is the 2016 app of the year. I do highly recommend it. I do just, it is awesome. And also sign up for on Anchor.fm. It is ANCHOR.fm. Okay? I am Grandmaster Revan here. And remember, knowledge is free. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Peace out. Revan out. There you go. Come on.